This is the example for the C chart, the handout example, and we have suites in a hotel, and we're looking at 15 days after cleaning a certain suite, and we're looking at the defects that we find in the suite after cleaning. So anything from a unstocked bar or a ruffled towel or anything like that, whatever we considered according to our checklist a defect, we note it down. So day 1 we had 2 defects, day 2 0, day 3 3 defects, day 4 1, and so on. So C for count is the number of defects. So this is definitely an attribute because we're not measuring anything on a continuous scale, and so this is a count. And so we're gonna use a C chart because there is no sample size, there is no n. N doesn't exist here, there is no sample. My sample here is 1. I am looking at one suite, and I'm looking at the suite over 15 days. And so, and it is counting the number of defects, so that leaves the C chart. And so if we look at this, the C chart, the way you do C chart, where the measure is already there, it's the C value. So we don't need to calculate an extra measure. We need to just calculate a center line, which is the average of this measure. So we just need to add these numbers up. So 2 plus 0 plus 3, all the C's, and divide by their number, which is 15. So if you add them up, you find that it is 25 divided by 15, that is 1.67. So that's your CL. And then they're asking us to use Z equals 3. So average plus 3 standard deviation, average minus 3 standard deviation. Looking at the formulas, LCL is C average minus Z multiplied by the standard deviation, which is in this case, this standard deviation is the square root of C average. So this is my SP. This is my SP, standard deviation. So we do C average 1.67 minus 3 multiplied by the standard deviation, which is the square root of 1.67. So if we calculate that, it's going to get you negative 2.2. But we can't have a negative LCL, lower control limit. So we said when it's negative, we make it 0, which is really the x-axis. And then the UCL is equal to C bar plus Z multiplied by the square root of the C bar. So that would be adding them up, 1.67 plus 3 multiplied by the square root of 1.67. So that would be equal to 5.54. So my UCL is 5.54, LCL is 0, and CL is 1.67. So all I have to look at is, are all my C values between my CL, my LCL, which is 0, the x-axis, and my UCL, which is 5.54. So I look at all these numbers and I see nothing greater than 5.54. So I say yes. So then the process is in control. Or I could graph, and the graph would have 15 samples on the x-axis all the way to 15, and my measure would be the C values here, and so x-axis would be my LCL, CL would be the 1.67, and UCL would be the 5.54. So CL, LCL, CL, UCL, and I'll plot the numbers, and I'll find that all the points are within LCL and UCL.